Today we're going to look at an app called Mubert.
It is I, Felix. Hello. Mubert. What is it and what does it do? That's what we're here to check out. This app really impressed me. First of all, I was a little skeptical about it. How can it be that good? But hopefully today I'll show you exactly why I'm a bit of a fan of it. It's a generative music app, so it's creating music from samples contributed by real people, but they are creating it live when you're listening to the stream. So this is the app. It introduces you when you first download it. It says get inspired, be focused, which is the main reason I use it. I find it does help you to focus, genuinely. Customize it so it does learn from what you're doing, and you can use the audio from it to create stories or background to your videos or whatever, what have you. And here we go. Yes, notifications, that's fine. And this is how it would launch. It does say premium. That's because I have subscribed and it doesn't seem to forget that when you delete the app and reinstall it. But the free version would allow you to listen to some of this, and you have a limited number of shuffles, which I'll get to in a minute. But the premium version that I've paid for, yeah, it's £20 a year, but hopefully you'll see why I went for that and whether you do the same. So primarily you'll see this interface. It's very clean, very minimal, black and white, and it's trying, I think, to get out of the way and to be an experience just as much as the music is in terms of visuals. You've got 3 intensity controls at the bottom: light, medium and heavy. Those apply to all of the, let's call them channels or categories, and you can change that and it will regenerate the audio stream for you. Now, sometimes I find that change isn't so noticeable and I don't really see much difference between the 3, but sometimes you do feel the change. So it does have a purpose. I'd say it works 85% of the time correctly. Then going to shuffles, what I call them shuffles, this little arrow here, if you press it, it will think again and bring in a new selection for that area. Now, you can see these hearts, so that upside down heart is like a downward thumb and the normal heart is an upward thumb, and these teach the algorithm. So let's say we like this. When you first do this, it will ask you to sign up or log in. I've already got an account, so I will log in so that we can do this. And we're logged in. So now it's remembered that I liked that, and that will teach the algorithm going forward that I like that kind of mix. Let's have a look at the other interface within this. You've got this section here, and across the top are basically different categories: genre, activities, special, more experimental stuff I think, and then secret. This one, I've only found one code and I haven't really entered it yet because I didn't feel it was going to apply to me, but you can enter a secret channel code and then it'll give you access to that. I think that's something they might develop more in the future, I don't know. And then favorites. We'll come back to why favorites are quite useful, because in this app, no one listening session will ever be the same, because if it's generating it on the fly, artificial intelligence behind the scenes, I'm presuming doing it on the back end. I don't think it's doing it on device. I think it's doing it on their servers somewhere. But you're not going to hear the same track, should we say, again. So what you would do, let's say I'm going to listen to my favorite COVID-19 self-isolation, right up my alley. So here we are. Very nice images here, I have to say. These time-lapse is very hypnotic when you're watching it. And here, if I want to favorite this, I can tap the star and it'll tell you, because it's the first time I've done this on this installation, and now it's added it to my favorites. So if we go back to this section, it's going to be this one down here in the corner, I think. And if you go there, it should load that favorite up again. It's not always 100% exactly the same. I think it must be favoriting a part of what you're listening to. That's the only area of criticism I have for this app, is that favourites, I think you'd normally want it to really bookmark exactly what you're listening to and that you could jump straight back to that. It doesn't seem to be an exact jump straight back to. So, going back to what we're listening to, favourites, go back to self-isolation. So let's say you move up from light to medium. This is tuning the music to the intensity that you want. And here we are. Now say there's a little loop in that I really like the sound of and I don't want it to sort of fade out into oblivion. I can tap that, loop the moment, and it will. And then it'll keep that little bit going ad infinitum. But for me, what's good about this? I don't like music that has lyrics for working, for background noise, should we say. And also, it distracts me even if I'm listening to an album, say, with no lyrics. I might like track 4, hate track 5, blah, blah, blah. And what I want to do is I will want to skip or repeat. And that takes me away from what I'm doing. With this, there is none of that cognitive load. You're not thinking about it because there is nothing you can really do except change the intensity or like something if you really like it. But outside of that, you can... I've done a good 3-hour working session with this playing in the background and I've almost forgotten it's on. And that, to me, is where it does help you to focus. It's not a gimmick, it genuinely does. So, this is why I wanted to share this app, and because I think most people will probably use it on the iPhone because it's a more portable device than on an iPad. So we'll move over there and let you see what that looks like. And here we are over on the iPhone. I really like the way this looks. The blacks are really dark and the animations tend to be more visible in this environment. The app behaves very similarly to the iPad, so there's no need to go over those features again. But while we're watching it operate, I want to just give you a small tip that I got from an email from Mubert, which was basically saying, remember to add the tracks you like to your favourites, as you'll hardly ever hear the same music twice using Mubert. Every stream by Mubert is being generated by AI at the very moment you hear it. That's what makes it exclusive. So, yes, it is actually being generated live when you click that button. So, looking at this iPhone version of the app, you can see that you still have the same controls. You can share a small 1-minute clip and it generates it. And the great thing is that they remind you here in the email as well, sharing without copyright notice. So you can use this in your videos, it renders it and it exports it. Only about a minute long, and I've noticed the volume level of the export is quite low, but you can use this for your own background, save it to your files, put it on something that you need without having to get that dreaded copyright strike notice. And that's it. Wonderful Mubert. Really enjoy it. Hope you do too. Take care. Hello, Editing Felix, just jumping in to let you know I've discovered what's wrong with the favoriting that was shown in my video. The iPad in landscape doesn't seem to scroll up when you want to go to the bottom of your favorites. It does on the iPhone, it does if you turn the iPad round into portrait. I'm going to let Mubert know that there's some slight bug there, but that's why I couldn't find the right favorite.